Hey, Dan here, Backyard Flair down in Tucson, Arizona. I wanted to show you guys something, stuff you see all over the country. It is block walls covered in stucco and stone pillars and all kinds of stuff that you see outside of businesses driving down the road. But I wanted to show you something because I was really thinking about the way people cover their outdoor fireplaces and their outdoor kitchens in stone veneer, but it looks really different when you're driving down the road versus the way it looks when you were standing right in front of that structure. So let me turn this camera around. I'm going to show you something. It's pretty interesting. So you see this stone pillar, you back up from the road, it looks pretty nice. But then if you get up close to it, you're going to notice something. You're going to notice that you can actually see way deep into those stone veneer pieces, and a lot of those have been cut to fit. What you're going to notice on these things is they look really nice at 30 or 40 miles an hour, but as soon as you get up really close to them, you can really see that there's a lot of gap and a lot of spacing inside this thing. If you were going to do this in your backyard, you would want to fill those gaps with a grout or a colored mortar or something that would make it look a little bit nicer, a little bit more refined. So right up next to this pillar is a block wall. Now this block wall is probably about 30 or 40 inches tall, and it is covered in stucco, and then it's painted. Now it's actually a pretty nice finish. This is actually a pretty smooth finish, which is what I always like to do on my outdoor structures in my backyard, because then your clothes don't snag it. You don't rip clothing or ruin clothing when you actually sit on it. Maybe brush up against it. So keep this in mind when you're building, that you pay attention to the way that your stucco is done. You pay attention to the way that your veneer is done, and paying attention to detail is the best part about making sure that your structure looks amazing at the end. And if you did something like this on veneer, it'd be probably better if you filled those gaps with mortar, which would take quite a bit of time. So they could have alleviated this by simply moving those veneer pieces closer to each other. So it's just more tips, more tricks of the trade, and if you pay attention to the small things, the structures look amazing in the end. So another heck, we'll be giving you as many of these little tricks and tips as we can through the next few months, and stay tuned. Hopefully give you more.